Yo, so sick Nash fan back, and this time we got that boy Duck King. Now, sorry for the lack of content. Your boy has been under the weather. I am still under the weather. So you haven't seen much content or much streams, but Doug King just arrived, so I was gonna try to power through and do this guide for you guys, so y'all have a little reference and y'all can jump into the action today with Doug King. Now, I think this character is very unique because he has a like hype system. So when he's revved up, some of his moves get enhanced, right? And that's really cool because usually revving yourself up is not good, but for him it's actually good. So it's going to make his gameplay very unique and stand out for sure. For the time that I've played with him in the lab, I do think that he is a pretty strong character, in a sense of he has some good things going for him, also some weaknesses, because the fact that he doesn't have a backdash definitely stood out to me, and that is a huge weakness, especially for someone like me that likes to backdash and control space. So I do think that that's kind of like a weakness on him, but he definitely has some strengths, and we're gonna cover those strengths. But like I said, the main weakness that I saw specifically was like no backdash. I really didn't like that, because even his buttons, I can get down with his buttons, because I think his stand C is actually really good. His other buttons are kind of like whatever, but I think his stand C is very powerful. All right, so y'all already know, first things first, let's talk about those normals. So like, he's gonna have the +1 generally like everybody else. His far jab has some really good range on it as well. He's gonna have some really good 3-part chains that actually combo as well from his lights, and I'll kind of show that. Boom, 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 boom. So he's gonna have some easy little combos. But one thing I will say about this character, he's one of those characters you're actually gonna want to use EX, because you want to get that hype up so you can do different combo routes. But let me show his heavy. So his close heavy is +2, which is very strong. Because he can frame trap into a light if you know they're gonna mash a light, because lights are 5 frames. Or you can go for a his standee, which is gonna like give him the combos, like give him really big combos. But that is an 8-frame startup, so that's only gonna give you 6. So it would only be 6 frames at that point, and not the 5-frame mash. But this is gonna be like a staple string that you're gonna be doing. And then when some people mash, you want to just press that stand B so you can get that 5-frame normal. So stand D also faint is +3, so that's actually more advantage than doing this. But this one you'll just have to hit confirm it versus like the other one, because if this does hit, you're only +5, but you can also just special cancel this altogether. But generally, like a string that he would be doing is stand C, stand D. Like something like that is very basic route. And I was able to use a little bit of that hype in the combo to extend that combo, because his 214D does not launch that high regularly, but if you are hype and you are revved up, then it actually does launch a little higher. So yeah, stand C is definitely going to be one of the main moves you're going to do, because even his far C is kind of ridiculous, because like if somebody whiffs right in front of you, it's like boom. Boom. 402, that was really good. So his whiff punishment is going to be pretty strong right outside of that mid range with this this far C. So definitely do not forget about that move. Now he also has like this his crouch C, and it can actually, if you mash it, he'll do these like multi headbutts, which is pretty good for rev damage. I think it's an actual pretty good move for rev damage, because you can rev your opponent up a little bit on block. They would have to like hyper defend it, so I think that that's pretty solid. But other than that, like overall, like his normals are really good. He also has this sweep, an enhanced sweep if you press it twice on while punish. And then he's gonna have some other moves, like he's gonna have this slide. Like if you do dash and you press D, he'll do a slide. Now if you do it from tip range, it can actually be plus. Right there you see +3. That's very strong, but you can actually fake it if you press B. Like if you don't press D, if you press B, he'll actually fake it, and he can actually go through the opponent's body. So I think that that's really good. Especially when you're just trying to throw it off, especially if somebody's used to you doing like tip range slide, and then you just do boom, and then you go for like an overhead, or you do boom, and then you throw them. So I think that that's pretty good. Backdash, since he doesn't have an actual traditional backdash, he has this move out of the dash, but I don't think it's that great in my opinion, because the thing is, it does have a slowdown animation if they whip a jab, but like I just don't think that that's strong enough to want to do that. You could just shimmy another way. At that point, you could just do a traditional shimmy, then trying to go, you know, do this and then go into the slowdown. Like this is special cancelable, but still, like I think that there's just better options that you don't really need to do that one specifically. I just think that that's kind of weak. Then he's gonna have Farsi 6C, which when you do this, you're not able to special cancel, but you're actually able to SPG cancel. And then from there you can get Oki. So he has a lot of like little crafty moves with his command moves, and you just kind of got to find a way to like utilize them all. But I will say the one that stands out for sure is the slide. Like the slide is going to be like a staple. I think that that one is a really good move, and when you do it meaty or at a tip range, it's going to be plus. So I think that that's very powerful. All right, let's talk about Duck King's special moves. So with the special moves, he has like this like Blanca Ball-esque move where he turns into a ball and he shoots himself forward. Now it's -5, but it has pushback, so you're really not going to be able to punish it with a light, because most lights are not going to reach from that range. So it's kind of safe to just throw out. The thing is, you have to be careful because it does lose to high dodge, so you can easily high dodge it. However, he can break it halfway through, right? So, and then you saw I baited it. So like that, you have to be careful about trying to high dodge, because he could just break it halfway through. Same with the heavy version. Now the heavy version is more unsafe on block because it's -6, so you have to be careful about that. And then the EX version only -3, and then of course you can do other EX moves off of that. So I would say like this is gonna be one of your staple moves, especially breaking it at neutral, just to like kind of bait out your opponent and see how they react, see what they do when you do that. And then he has an aerial version as well. That is -6 for the light. The D version is -4 right there, but you can make it. It depends on when you do it. You can make it you know, a little safer, because right there was -2. So this one is good for throwing off like your trajectory, like just jumping in at your opponent, especially if they're high dodge reliant. You can kind of throw that off. You see it right there, I was +7, so it's like you can kind of throw off the timing. So I think that that's actually really good. Same with this version, because then you could just go into other things. So I think that move is actually powerful. It's gonna be one of his staples, and it's gonna be the main combo that you've seen me doing is that ball starter. So ball is like a very, very good move. He's gonna come with an uppercut. His uppercut is pretty good. It lunges forward, 5-frame uppercut, lunges forward, invincible. So pressuring him on wake up, you're gonna have to watch out, because he can uppercut you. And then of course he has a D version that he can do, and then he can go into another one like that, or you can go into the 2-1-4 like that. So he can definitely keep you out the sky, and it's going to be hard to meaty this character in general on wake up, so you are going to have to bait him a lot. And same, he has an EXDP, but it's just going to give you a more combo ability on some of his moves. So he's going to have this knee attack. Now this knee is actually really good for reasons, because it counter hits you. If it counter hits you, it launches, right? So that's already very powerful, like this, boom. So it's going to give you a huge opportunity to get a juicy combo. So Let me do this. Like that, right? It gave me a really, really good combo just because you got counter hit by knee. So knee is really good for that reason, but it's also good to just throw out in neutral because look at this. Like spaced, it can be plus. So like that's really, really good. Right there, it's +3. So that's very dangerous. And then the threat of it counter hitting the opponent and you getting a large combo is pretty good. So keep that in mind when you're doing that move. Now the D version actually just flies over their head, so it's not as good. This one is more used in combos, because unless you're like point blank, it's not going to be useful. And like I said, it's generally used in combos. You're not really going to use that outside of combos. Same for the EX version. You're going to be using that in like combo routing, so you're not really just going to be throwing out EX knee and neutral. Now it is as you see, it can be safe or neutral, but you're burning a bar. You got to think about that. So it's good for him because it is revving him up, but if you're just burning too much bar, you don't want to overheat, you know. But at spaced at a distance, it is it could be like safe, like really safe. So just keep that in mind. And then right here, same thing, it does launch. So it just depends on what type of Duck King player you are at that point. If you want to just kind of stay resourceless and do that one and then go into the Blanca Ball route, that's good. Or if you want to spend the EX so you can rev yourself up, you have that option. So that's the freedom of Duck King. He has options and things that you can do. That's the pretty cool thing about him. So next we're going to talk about his quarter circle back series. Now this series of attacks is really unique because he has a overhead if you press 6C, then he has a low if you press 6D, and then he has a command grab if you press 6B. So it's basically a mix-up on block. Now, the funny part, you could just stop and do nothing and bait your opponent. Like if they like the uppercut right there and not guess, you're stopping at -2. So it's really nothing that they can do, you know? You are at more of an advantageous situation because you got a three-way mix and they're going to have to block and guess. So if they uppercut, they're going to lose all of their life bar, you know? So like you have a pretty good advantage right there. Now, he also does have this series right here if you press 6A. Now, the thing about this one, you do this one on hit. It's much better on hit. Like that, because you see he's +2 and then he just keeps you standing +2. So you can go for like a little strike throw mix up. Like, that's pretty good. I think that this series is going to be very important to do on people's block to open them up, see how they react, and see if they are willing to gamble with the uppercut, if they're willing to try to hold up because of the command grab, or, you know, basically what your opponent is willing to do is going to be the most important. And same with like EX version, because he can also grab you. Now, the thing about this move also, like the grab actually, like if you're hyped up, let me hype him a little bit, you can actually combo into the grab and get a hard knockdown. But that's only when he's hyped, because if you try to do it right here, boom, it whiffs, you know? So like, that's why I said his hype is very important to see like the different routings and the different situations you could put your opponent in because you are hyped up versus being non-hyped up. And as you see, he does have some follow-up attacks out of the 214 series. He does have some follow-up attacks if you are pressing the button continuously like that. So you can just play around with those attacks, because sometimes it's going to be more optimal to do like the full route, because like if your opponent is blocking or something, then you want to open them up, or you want to stagger it because you want to stop halfway through the string because your opponent doesn't know when you're going to finish the string. Stuff like that. You kind of want to throw in finishing strings and throw in not finishing strings with him, because he has some pretty long strings when it comes down to the 214 AC. And like I said before, with the height, a lot of his moves are going to be enhanced. So you have to look at the move list, because if you press like, you know, like a 6A or a 6C at the end of some of his moves, he gets an enhanced move like that jumping attack. Because if I don't press anything, he doesn't get that. So just make sure you're familiar with his move set and know that adding different inputs at the end will give you, you know, enhanced moves, especially if you are in EX or if you are already hyped up. I think Duck King's Red Blow is decent. It's not like really crazy good, but it's decent. The aerial one is also, now the aerial one I will say is better than his grounded one, so the aerial one is like pretty solid. And then if you block it right there, he's -1, -3 right there. Now I'm gonna make him stand block and -2, so it didn't change that much on that. But yeah, his normal one, like the range on it isn't crazy like some other characters, so I would say he has a very decent red blow. Now let's talk about his supers. Now his super, especially his punch super, is really good. It's a 2-frame command grab, right? So that means that it's gonna be able to punish like things like DP break. Like if somebody DP breaks on you, as you see, DP break right there -3, so I'm gonna get a guaranteed punish. Like that's gonna be a punish. So it's gonna be hard for the opponent to actually DP break against this character if he has meters. So that's very dangerous. I think that that's really, really good. And then the heavier version of that is actually 1 frame. So this one is gonna be a mix-up grab. So yeah, you gotta be very careful with Duck King, the fact that he has something like that. And he, for his kick super, it's gonna be like a rhythm super. So if you were familiar with like DJ's super from Street Fighter 6, it's gonna be kind of similar. I do feel like Duck King's is a lot easier. You basically just want to time your hits. Like when you see him hit the opponent, you want to time your hits. And the last hit is like a booty bump that he does, and that's where you kind of delay it. And when you see him, you know, get the hit, that's when you actually press the button. And you can press punches or kicks, it doesn't matter. So right there you see I missed it. I wanted to show you a miss so you basically see the situation. You still get Oki plus 22, but the damage is only 242, right? So on that last hit, like I said, if you delay it, bam, just like that. And then you get to 264 and plus 44, so you can dash up and do something. So same concept with the Redline version. It's all about that timing and just watching his animations, and when he gets the hits, that's when you want to press the button. And just like that, 374, that's a lot of damage for a timing super. And like I said, don't get too frustrated if you're missing a timing at first, because at first when I got into the lab with him, I was missing it too, and then I just was like, oh, I need to time it with him actually making contact with the opponent, then it becomes easy. So once you get that down though, that's pretty dangerous. Like I said, it does good corner carry and a good damage, so pretty devastating to get hit by. And then of course I have to show it, the young hidden gear. And Duck King, one thing I will say about them, this is probably one of the coolest characters they've added to the game in a very long time. Like a lot of the DLC characters, while they might have been like, you know, like they were okay, but I was not hyped for Duck King at all. And then when I got into the lab with him and started playing with him and seeing what he could do, I was like, man, this character is actually really cool. So I know the Duck King fans around the world are actually hyped for this character because he hasn't been in the game for years, and they really knocked it out the park with him, I will say. So my final thoughts on this character are, he's definitely still going to be, I don't think he's going to be meta defining. I think that he's going to be character specialist. You might see 1 or 2 Duck Kings, or maybe a lot, depending on how many people really just like him and like playing with him. I know a lot of people are trying him out right now to see how they feel about him, but I do think that he's gonna be solid. I think probably like a solid mid-tier. I wouldn't say I've seen anything top tier. I will say his cross up attack is really good. He has a very good cross up attack as well. Jumping starfish. Any time a character has moves like this, you already know it's about to be a problem in the air. But yeah, I would say he might turn out to be a mid tier character, which is fine because mid tiers in City of the Wolves are still strong. So I wouldn't rule him out. So thank y'all again for watching this Duck King beginner guide. Like I said, sorry for the lack of content because I haven't really been streaming much or making YouTube videos because I am still recovering and I am not all the way there. So I just need y'all's energy so your boy can get back. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, peeps, peace.